board, family and friends, and especially my fellow graduates. It is my honor to be standing here before you today as the salutatorian of the class of 2026. First, I would like to thank every person that has come to celebrate each senior that is soon to walk across this stage. Teachers, each of you has poured so much into each student that has walked into your classroom. And parents, no student sitting here before me today would be who they are without your guidance and support. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I'm so grateful for the hard work each of y'all have put into shaping us into young men and women who are about to finish this important chapter in our lives. When pondering what to talk about this speech, there were many ideas that came to mind. I thought about math, sharing stories about the horrors of Mr. Watson, like so many other salutatorians and valedictorians before me. However, I'm quite sure that Jack, the only other person crazy enough to take Cup 2 with me, would be the only person still awake by the end of it. I also thought about coming up with some analogy involving martial arts. For those of you who don't know, I earned a 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo before attending RCA, and still value many of the lessons that came along with doing so. That didn't exactly feel right. Eventually though, I did settle on a topic, one that I'm sure anybody in my speech class could have guessed: football. This past football season was a memorable one, to say the least. While we may not have won as many games as I had hoped, it was still an amazing experience that I will remember for the rest of my life. As my teammates can probably attest, standing down on that field, looking up at the stands filled with fans is truly breathtaking, and it always reminded me how truly special this life that God has given us really is. And while I can't exactly say I'm too upset that I get to leave Captain Academy back in high school, I will miss creating memories with each and every one of the young men I had the privilege of going to battle with every Friday night. Playing football these past 6 years has taught me a lot of things. Football taught me discipline, and how important it is to do the little things right. It also taught me how to sacrifice, and what it truly means to put my body on the line for my brother next to me. However, if I had to pick one lesson I'm most grateful for, it would be the ability to adapt. Now, this past season definitely had its ups and downs. I was supposed to be playing quarterback, which, for those of you who didn't attend a game, I'm definitely not a quarterback. Our team was also plagued with injuries, leading me to become our kicker as well, which personally I'd say that went a lot better for being a quarterback did. And it wasn't just me either. We had a freshman as our starting tight quarterback. We had half of our defense that was starting as freshmen. Everybody got pushed into new situations, and I can truly say I'm proud of how each one of them handled it. Whether it was Coach Starwooding coming up with new offensive plays with a minute left in the game, or Coach Nestor changing our defensive plan at halftime, each one of them had to adapt. Now, this idea of adapting is so important to me because personally, I'm not a big fan of change. Even a simple act such as rearranging my room feels weird to me because sometimes different just feels weird. However, different doesn't always mean bad. Sometimes different is just a thing that God wants to use to make a change in your life for the better. Romans 12:2 tells us, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." Sometimes God will make a change in your life, and whether you like it or not, it is our job as believers to discern what is His will. Juniors, it feels like just yesterday I was sitting where you are now, sitting down there watching Adelaide stand up here behind this podium. Yet still, despite how fast the time may have flown by, life has still changed in so many ways. And now, as you'll begin this 4th quarter of the game that we call high school, my hope for each and every one of you is that you learn to discern what is God's will for your life, and that you can follow the perfect path He has set before you. Whether it be pulling a hamstring, getting a concussion, or forgetting about the test that you had in Mr. Johnson's class because he still hasn't learned how to use Canvas. Know that each trial you face has a purpose in God's plan. As Coach Brown says, don't be the big kid. Adapt to whatever life throws at you. Learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that is how you will go far in life. As Mr. Model will gladly share with you, Romans 8:28 tells us, "And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose." Therefore, trust in God through whatever struggles you may face. Seek out His plan in everything you do, because He uses all things for good. And in a year from now, when you walk across this stage and prepare to head off to college yourselves, preferably in Austin and not College Station, but that's just me, I hope each of you is able to look back on your senior year fondly, finding comfort in the fact that you have been called to His purpose. As I close out my time in front of you all of you today, I have saved the most important thank yous for last, and those go to my family. First, I want to thank my dad for paying for me to go to an amazing making school like this, for waking up early in the morning to get me to football practice. He has always been there for me and has been pivotal in molding me into the man I am today. I also want to thank my mom for putting up with me every time I smart off and still being willing to do every little thing for me. And last, but certainly not least, I want to thank my sister Jocelyn for always somehow being able to put a smile on my face, as well as the faces of everyone she meets, even if it does mean that all my friends end up liking her more than they like me. Now, as the clock slowly ticks closer to 00 on our high school career, I can't help but smile when I look upon my fellow seniors, knowing that the memories I created, each and every one of them will be with me wherever I go.